All right, Saturday morning things I'm thinking about from Friday's 49ers rookie mini camp. Isaiah Neyor have the 49ers finally found it. Maybe they drafted a guy with a history of traits and some production. He had a nice year last year in Nebraska. I called a couple of his games, but he came from Texas. So he came from Texas. You know, you're a receiver from Texas. You got traits. And he's tall. He's 6'4, 4'4", 40. And he used both his height, his length, and his speed in practice on Friday. To me, the highlight of the practice was when he caught a ball down the right sideline. You know what I say. I rail against it. People like, the stats say the Niners hit go balls. Okay, what we're really talking about is straight line deep balls. And the Niners hit one yesterday. They don't hit a lot of them. They don't hit a lot of them in games, despite what some of the metrics say. And they don't hit many of them in practice, but they hit one yesterday. And it was Isaiah Neyor creating several feet of separation between he and the defensive back. The ball was a good ball, but it wasn't a perfect ball, and he had to kind of adjust and watch it over his opposite shoulder a little bit. And then with his height and his length, he really had to extend good hands to hold on. Kind of didn't totally catch the back of the ball, but really needed strong fingers and made a great catch. I thought it was the highlight. It was a flash play. You know, a defensive end or a defensive tackle in a practice like this, they don't really get a chance to flash like a receiver gets to flash in a one-on-one with the quarterback throwing him a deep ball. But that's what you're there to do. You're supposed to flash in a situation like this. Most of these guys don't have much of a chance of, ever making an NFL team. Unfortunately, when you fill out a roster, you're talking about some long shots, and one of them might make it, and it's an amazing story. But this is the type of situation where you're supposed to shine. If you don't stand out here and make a splash play here, how are you going to do it against Gamet or Neyor? So already, I think you've got to note Isaiah Neyor, not Neyor. Neyor is one of the guys to watch once everybody reports. No Curtis Rourke throwing, so it was just Tanner Mordecai throwing the ball. You got to figure Tanner Mordecai's got a little bit of a fire lit under him, given that the Niners drafted a quarterback. And Curtis Rourke is big. You can see it. The Indiana tape is there. Alfred Collins is humongous. Also did not practice, but massive. You think back to when the Niners used to get off the bus real swaggy with their defensive line, and DeForest Buckner and Eric Armstead, and just big dudes and big dudes and big dudes. And Michael Williams and Alfred Collins getting off the bus together. I mean, that's Texas and Georgia. Like, they only get guys that look good off the bus. You got to be able to play. But it was pretty awesome to see Alfred Collins, just the pure size in what, was once and maybe is again, the word premium prospect gets reserved for, the top 15 type picks. Michael Williams, a premium prospect. But in many ways, Alfred Collins is also a premium prospect. I guess in the NFL, second rounder can be a premium prospect, but he just looks like one. You see the size and you go, that is what the Niners need. CJ West, I don't think we'll really get to experience CJ West until he's there to, stop a running back and plug a hole. But that'll be a fun thing to watch him against the Niners, the Niners interior offensive line a little bit. Nick Martin, the linebacker from Oklahoma State. Again, do you do kind of the I don't want to use the phrase bare minimum. He was first in the linebacker drills, very active. You could tell, very earnest, hard worker in terms of the way he ran through his reps, like trying to make them count. And the Niners practice field, the grass is it's a little hard. It's very, very short. So a couple guys slipped out there because it didn't seem like their cleats could really dig in. And Nick Martin was one of those guys to start it. Rep kind of slipped and bounced up right away to get after it. So you could just see from him kind of the rep of hardworking guy. By the way, I like to bring these in when I can. Isaiah Neyor, I called one of his games at Nebraska, caught a touchdown. I'm just saying, last two times I've seen Isaiah Neyor, he's got touchdowns.
Viola over the middle, Neyor, touchdown, Huskers.
There you go. I didn't call the one on actually I called his UCLA game. I don't know if he scored a touchdown in that game, but there you go. I think definitely some things to watch for moving forward out of what we got to see on Friday.